Bore da, Croeso i Gymru, more specifically welcome to the Rhug Estate, just north of Corwyn on the A5. That's the A5 there, and as you can see, here we have the Rhug Estate. So you get drinks, snacks, sandwiches, pastries, all sorts of different things. Very nice it is too. And that's the farm shop over there in the distance. Okay, so I'm here on Honda and we're going to be going exploring the lanes. It's a good little excuse to explore some lanes over yonder. There's an interesting story. As you know, I like a story rather than just going for a quick ride of a bike. I like something more behind it. Hopefully you'll find this one interesting. See you in a minute. Okay, I hope you can hear me. If not, we're all a bit stuffed and it'll be a voiceover. Okay, so we're going to leave the Rhug Estate and we're going off on a journey. We're going to explore some country lanes and I'll tell you a little story while we're there. So we're going to explore some lanes and I'll tell you a little story while we're out and about. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. Hopefully you'll find it of interest, if nothing else. This is where I took a photo the other day of my gateway with a moo, but all the cattle seem to have gone a long way away. That's a shame. I'll have to find another one, especially for saddlebags. So where are we then? Well, we're on the outskirts of the Berwyn Mountains. They're up there. There's some excellent lanes. We're going to be going past one of them, the one that I was going to be riding actually. My original plan was to be going up there. It's been closed. The Wayfarer has been closed due to a TRO being put on it. It's a traffic regulation order saying that we can't ride it. I don't know what the reason would be, whether it's due to deterioration or flooding up at the boggy part, or the fact they're going to be renewing the boardwalk, because there is some damage to that. But yeah, I was going to be riding that today. I keep meaning to ride the Enfield on it, but as I keep meaning to ride the Enfield, but just don't get around to it. I keep on coming out on this, because this happens to be convenient or more suited to where I'm going. Plus the weather's been a bit rubbish and this has got hoosie grips. Anyway, back to this. So we're in the Berwyn Mountains, or on the edge of them, and we're going to be going up there. But we're going to do a bit of time travelling, which is why I really wanted the Enfield. Just to change the subject slightly, there's a really good ford down there. I might go and have a look at it this afternoon, but, and it's a big but, if I went down there, it could be far too deep and far too dangerous at the moment with the weather, as it has been. So I'm probably not going to be able to ride it, and I don't want to go down there only to have to turn round. So we're travelling back in time. We're going back, right back to the 1970s. Flares were all the rage. Big lapels, platform soles. I was only young, I couldn't remember. I can remember them. However, what I can't remember is much about what I'm going to be telling you. This is all stuff I've been reading about recently. So, what else happened around the late 60s, early 70s? Well, man walked on the moon. We had Mr. Berwyn with his Space Odyssey record, didn't we? Well, not only did we have that, but we had, and this is where it gets interesting, the Welsh Roswell, or as some people call it, Roswelsh. Now I'm going to have to go really slowly because this mum's got two very young lambs, so we'll keep out of her way. I will get round to telling you this story, honest. So yes, we had the Welsh Roswell, or the Roswelsh incident. Now it's been told and mistold over many times. This is the River Dee, just so you know, River Dee, and it's flowing really strong. We've had a lot of rain over the last few days. And essentially it happened up there. That's where this whole Berwyn UFO mystery took place, and it's still a mystery to this day. I don't know, I'm assuming you're all familiar with the term Chinese whispers. For those of you that aren't, Chinese whispers are when a story is told and overtold by several different people, so that what starts off with "I had a black cat" becomes "I had a white dog." It just gets changed and gets completely muddled up. And there is going to be some element of that, and also with the passage of time people's memories fail them, and stories get mistold and people can't remember everything. So the first stop is going to be just down the road here. As I was saying, if you look at the roads on the left, a couple of lanes on the left here are the Wayfarer trail, and we can't use that, as I say, which is a nuisance because I really wanted to be going up there. I think it's that one. I could be wrong, it might be this one coming up here. So we're heading towards Llandrillo, which is just down the road here. And this road will eventually form part of the story. At the moment, it's got nothing to do with it, it's just a pleasant little ride. As you can see, we've got the mountains up towards our left. Going towards that way is Bala. And it's important you know that because there's a geological fault that runs through the area from over there right the way through. So much like my Iceland video, where I was telling you about the different tectonic plates, there's a fault here, and that is what triggered the whole incident off, or we believe that is. Right, so I'll join you in the village and I'll explain more. So we're talking about the mountains all up to our left here, all up there. And we are talking about the night of January the 23rd, 1973. I think. I'll double check that. As you can imagine, it's cold, it's dark, it's bleak, there's not a lot of light around because we're in the countryside, and this is the 70s. There would have been nowhere near any street lighting. The residents of this village were quite happily watching, I think it would have been something like Steptoe and Son, or some similar sort of television programme. But they'd been watching a TV programme, quite happily minding their own business, when suddenly there was an almighty bang, and that was followed by the earth moving beneath their feet. Imagine the scene. It's the 23rd of January 1974 and it's 20:38, so that's nearly 29. It's not a lovely bright spring day like today. That's pretty though, isn't it? Suddenly, bang, 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 loud bang, and everything moves. So what people did was they came here. They rung the police from this here telephone box. There were quite a few calls. All people describing both tremors, explosions, loud bang. It was indeed at 20:38 a 3.5 on the Richter scale incident somewhere up there. So let's go and have a look, see what we can find out. A little bit more about the story. So with all these phone calls, the police weren't sure what was going on. They knew something had happened. But not only were they hearing noises and feeling the earth move, there were some people who made reports of bright lights. Some said they were in the sky, some said they were on the mountain itself. So what is true? Do we know any more about these bright lights? Well, the police didn't know. They were concerned it might be a crashed aeroplane. And this is where the plot starts to thicken. And for that, we need to whip along this road to the next village. Now, what's of interest about this road is, as I say, later in the story, there's a claim about this road that, although I'm not particularly comfortable with its veracity, I'm going to take it on face value and tell you the story, but I'll leave that to the end. I just want you to imagine it's a cold winter's night, and up there's already been a bang as the earth's moved, and also we've had the prospect of some lights. What were they? We don't know. Or I should say, at the moment, we don't know. We'll see you in the next village. So here we are in the next village, which is called Llanderfel. I know that because there's a road sign, Llanderfel. I'm guessing that the police too received phone calls from this village, being not far down the road. In fact, I know they did. There's a nurse who lived in the village, I don't know whether she still does, called Pat Evans. That phone box could have been one that was used. Indeed, she had said from her house she could see lights or something, I believe. But certainly there was enough there to concern her. And they wondered, with the bang, could it be a crash, an airplane crash? So she kindly offered to go up and investigate. So I'm going to now try and retrace her steps. I don't know where in the village she lives, so we'll use this as a good starting point. But I do know more or less the route she took.
So in the next part, we'll explore what happened to Pat and her children. Until the next time, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one when the plot will thicken.